The 7 Social Sins Explained. What if I told you there are 7 social sins that have the power to shape the fate of humanity? These aren't just personal vices, but societal behaviors that can erode the very fabric of our communities. The concept of the 7 social sins was first articulated by Anglican priest Frederick Lewis Donaldson in a 1925 sermon and later popularized by Mahatma Gandhi in his publication, Young India. These sins highlight behaviors that degrade societal values and ethical conduct. In this video, we'll explore each of these 7 social sins in detail, uncovering their origins, their implications in both historical and modern contexts, and the moral lesson they offer. By understanding these sins, we can better recognize and address the ethical challenges that affect our world today, making this exploration not just fascinating, but highly relevant to our lives. 1. Wealth without work. Wealth without work refers to the practice of acquiring wealth without contributing any meaningful labor or value in return. This concept criticizes the accumulation of wealth through exploitation, manipulation of markets, and speculative ventures that do not involve honest labor. Gandhi emphasized that true wealth should come from productive and ethical work, not from taking advantage of others or the system. Kind of like the South Sea bubble in the early 18th century, where investors poured money into the South Sea Company, lured by promises of immense profits from trade with South America. However, the company's value was based largely on speculation and manipulation, rather than real trade and labor. When the bubble burst, many investors faced financial ruin. This incident illustrates how speculative schemes can create wealth for some without any real work or value creation, leading to widespread harm. In today's world, the concept of wealth without work can be seen in various forms, such as certain practices in the financial sector where wealth is generated through complex financial instruments and high-frequency trading. Even though pop culture refers to it as working smart, these activities often prioritize profit over productive contribution to the economy, which can lead to economic instability and ethical concerns about fairness and contribution to society. 2. Pleasure without conscience. This refers to the pursuit of pleasure and enjoyment without regard for moral principles, ethical standards, or the well-being of others. This concept stresses the danger of seeking personal gratification at the expense of integrity and social responsibility. Engaging in pleasure without conscience often leads to selfishness, exploitation, and harm to oneself and others. Like the Roman Emperor Nero, who infamously indulged in lavish feasts, extravagant parties, and theatrical performances while neglecting the governance of Rome. His reign was marked by notorious debauchery and a disregard for the suffering of his people, culminating in the Great Fire of Rome. Instead of aiding the victims and rebuilding the city, Nero is said to have played the lyre and composed songs about the tragedy. In contemporary society, pleasure without conscience is evident in various forms, such as the widespread abuse of substances, irresponsible consumption, and the exploitation of digital media for instant gratification. The opioid crisis, for example, reflects how the pursuit of temporary pleasure can lead to devastating consequences for individuals and communities. Similarly, the culture of excessive consumerism, driven by advertising that encourages indulgence without consideration of ethical implications, exemplifies this social sin. These behaviors highlight the importance of integrating conscience with the pursuit of pleasure to foster a more ethical and compassionate society. 3. Knowledge without character. Knowledge without character is simply the acquisition of knowledge and skills without the accompanying development of moral and ethical values. Gandhi warned that the knowledge devoid of character can be dangerous, as it leads to the misuse of intellectual abilities and can cause significant harm to society. This concept pushes the need for education to be holistic, integrating both intellectual growth and character development. A notable historical example is the development of the atomic bomb during World War II. The scientists involved in the Manhattan Project possessed immense knowledge and technical expertise. However, the ethical implications of their work, which resulted in unprecedented destruction and loss of life in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, highlight the potential dangers of knowledge applied without a strong moral framework. This event serves as a cautionary tale about the necessity of coupling scientific advancements with ethical considerations. In today's world, the concept of knowledge without character is evident in various sectors, including business, technology, and academia. For instance, in the corporate world, some companies prioritize profits over ethical practices,